Racing League. This is round 7. We are at Vietnam. For today's race, we're gonna start a little bit earlier, as usual. We usually start at 9 p.m. And for today's race, we're gonna start at 6 p.m. as you can see. Also, the format of this race is different. We're not gonna have the short quali plus the 100% race, while we're gonna have only a 50% race. Let's see the first comment. Let's go. One of our drivers, the McLaren driver. So the drivers are putting their setups on, are choosing their strategy, also the compound to start the race on. Hopefully we're gonna have a formation lap, so we can discuss the order of the grid together. That is based not on a reverse grid championship, but on a medium points score per race. So CFF, who did his first race, is gonna start on pole because he retired at Monaco. Now Zabiacha, hopefully I did say good, is at Red Bull, and the drivers are gonna start the formation lap right now. So CFF is on pole, Clay Racing Indias is second. Let's see what tires are they on. So everyone is on the medium, apart of Barks, Littlefoot, Moomin, Brook and Dirt Shark, who are on softs. For today's race we're gonna have only a sprint format of a 28 lap around Vietnam. This is a very tough track because walls are very close, this track is so narrow and you have no room for mistake. I want to remind you that in this league assists aren't allowed, so drivers are racing without the racing line, and any types of assist. So as I say, every race the consistency is the key. You really want to go to stay away from the walls and keep your race pace as good as possible. As the driver are approaching the straight, the longest one, let's put the map on, and also this very difficult hairpin where most of the overtakes are done. Fred Nolasco is on hard tires. I didn't see that. He's surely trying to go one stop as the other drivers on mediums, but he wants to do that safely, as they are preparing their tires. CFF taking all the time he needs to warm up properly. We have already 10 spectators. Thank you very much for tuning in. And we're gonna see some very interesting battles going up in front and down the field, because the fastest drivers are starting at the back. So let's put change of position now that we know the tires that the drivers are on, and hopefully we're gonna have a very good and clean first opening lap of this Vietnam Grand Prix. This is round 7 of the UK SS Dachshund Bethel Racing League. As the drivers are approaching their line start, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights, and away we go. We don't get the sound, but Zabiacha get a very good start. Actually not, because the graphic is it's strange. We have a racing point in the lead. Then in the Haas is surely Clay Racing who is in the lead. Hopefully we're gonna have the true standings very soon. Is Clay leading up in front? Behind him we have Luca and most likely CFF in third place, who has lost already 2 places. Dirt Shark behind follows CFF in fourth place, looking for a move. Is also Clay. Yes, Luca has got the lead on Clay. So Luca is now leading the Vietnam Grand Prix, but he has a penalty. Let's see what that is. Hopefully, okay, it's not a drive-through penalty, it's a 3-second time penalty. So an amazing start from the AlphaTauri driver. Let's see, there are many battles behind, battling for fourth place. Snaglet with Durshark and Brook Littlewood. Also Barks trying to overtake. Get the overtake on movement. Let's see from his perspective. Snagletooth goes very deep and carry Durshark to the wall. Brook gets the position on both of them with a switchback of Dreams going around P3, while Clay is losing places and places from P2. Also some battle behind. Let's see, Deepover is very close to movement as Simovets is pressurized by Julius Racer Contempt. These two drivers have fought many times this year. Also Eisenberg in the Ferrari needs a good performance to close the battle with Mercedes for the Constructors' Championship. But we have some driver in the pits. This Durshark, who's probably got a front wing damage. Very close to the wall. Clay Racing. Very nicely done from him. Now he showed me CFF in the lead, but as you can see, as you can tell, Luca is first in the racing point. I should say Aston Martin, leading on CFF. Brook Littlewood, Clay Racing in fourth place, and Barks with a very nice P5, sorry, because Luca is first, but it doesn't show it. Let's see some where the drivers are close. The closest battle up in front is between Muma and Deepover, battling for P7, I guess. Deepover get the move done, and Simopets is so close on the medium. Some Mooman is trying a move. Ooh, and he spun. The Ferrari driver is surely gonna get damaged by that. Even if the damage is on reduced, he's surely gonna have wing damage, and he's lost 3 places. And now sitting P12 behind Fred Nolasco. He's pumping the overtake button to try and get a move on Fred, who is on a hard tire. He's contended for the championship, for the driver championship, and he's trying a dummy. Let's see, is Fred is gonna fight back? He's go around the outside. Is he gonna get the move done? The two drivers are wheel to wheel. Now the track goes right. Eisenberg slow Fred Nolasco down, let also Simopets pass. So very good effort from the Ferrari teammate of Simopets, who strategically managed to let Simopets gain 2 places. We're gonna see soon if Simopets has a wing damage. Ooh, Fred Nolasco is spun on the hard tire. He didn't manage to warm up properly, and now he's gonna lose many places and also so much time to the driver up in front. As always, Fred need. Ooh, also Luca spun from the lead. From P1 is now down to P4. CFF is now back in the lead, where started on pole as Brook is now following in P2. Also Clay, very good effort from the US driver in P3. We have some really close battle also between Snagletooth, who is closing in on Barks Littlewood, even if he's on the soft tires. So he might have more space than him, and he locks up. He goes really deep, and also you don't want to climb this curb. You're gonna lose so much time. Very good line from the Alpine driver up in front. And now he's out of the DRS range. Snagletooth is trying his best to come back at him after the mistake of the hairpin. Deepover is closing in. You can see Snagletooth has his red light flashing, so it does mean that he's below 10% of ERS. Deepover, ooh, locks up and clinch Snagletooth, and is now, I think, retired off the race. No, he's still going, but without front wing. That's such a harsh sad mistake from Deepover in the McLaren, who completely misses his braking points, and Snagletooth didn't manage to come back on the track properly. We're on lap 3 of the UK Assist Vacam Bathurst League. on Vietnam, and CFF is leading the way from Brooke Littlewood in P2. Let's see the change of position. So CFF maintain his lead in P1, going a little bit wide right now. Let's see, is Clay and Luca going wheel to wheel. Very good overtake around the outside. Luca, phenomenal move by him. Snaggletooth retard in the pit after he got damaged. Luca did a marvelous move on Clay Racing, going around the outside like we didn't miss it at all. No lock up. Very tough line. Also, this track without racing line is so hard because you don't. Also, the braking point are such a thing here because you don't have the panel close to the track. You have up ahead, so you have to focus on two things: the track and looking at the panel. Ooh, that's some. I think that's some front wing of Luca flying enough. And you can see now Julius Race is just overtook Simopets. So, as I was saying, Brooke has gained 5 places and is very close to CFF. We need to have a look at that. Luca has gained 1 place, but he has a 3-second time penalty. Clay has lost 2 places, but is very close to the Aston Martin driver. Then we have Barks comfortably sitting in P5, Julius Race P6, and behind him the driver who is first in the championship, Simopets, who is trying his best to overtake the Ferrari driver as soon as he can. Eisenberg going into the pit, probably got some damage that forced him into the pit. Mooman lost 2 places from the start, still in the points, so very well done for the AlphaTauri driver, and followed by F1 Racing Warren, who is in P9, very close to the AlphaTauri driver, onto the medium tires. So let's back on the tires graphic. Durchak and Fred Nolasco trying to close the gap to get into the points places. Fred has already recovered the gap that he needed after he spun off the racetrack. Let's get on board with Brooke, who is getting closer and closer on CFF. He's gonna try a dummy going into the airpin. He's got the inside line and he's got the lead in the Alfa Romeo. And now CFF has to let him go because Brooke has the soft tires, has the soft compound. So he's surely gonna be faster than him on this stage of the race. So Brooke Littlewood, for the first time in this league, get the lead of the race. But CFF doesn't want to give up it so easily, and he's surely gonna try to stay close to the Alfa Romeo driver, at least in the DRS range. And Luca is already going into the pit. It doesn't look like he has a front wing damage, or at least a big one, but I don't see the point to pit from a set of medium on lap 4 of the race. Maybe he's trying a very big undercut going into the hard tire. Clay is not finding so much grip on these hard tires. Now Barks is getting overtaken around the outside by Simopets, and I think Barks let Simopets go. We lost the overtake from Simo to Julius Race. Very sorry about that, but we had a battle for the lead that was so much important. And now Simopets is gonna try his best to overtake Clay as soon as he can, most likely on this straight to clinch P3, and at P4 by the time he pit, he's gonna be behind Luca. Maybe if he has the race pace, he's gonna overcut him. We're gonna see him soon as Simopets now got DRS on overtake, and he easily passed the AS driver of Clay. Locking up slightly, but it won't affect him too much, and he's now in P3, 9 seconds behind CFF. We're gonna see how much time he's gonna need to catch him. Also, the AlphaTauri driver in P2 has a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Let's see, Julius Race, I saw from the monitor that he managed to overtake Barks, but then lose the place once again on the straight. And he's gonna try to overtake the Renault driver soon. Barks is sitting P5 with the pace. He has the pace on clay, so he might get P4 if he can hold Julius Race behind. He goes defensive on the straight. Julius Race doesn't have the opportunity to go around the outside. He's gonna try to switch back on this long right-hander, but doesn't have the space to do so. He does get the slingshot line, so it's with DRS overtake on. He's gonna try the overtake on the Alpine driver. Let's see, also CFF has now got into the lead, overtaking Brook, but now Brook is gonna have his chance to overtake back the AlphaTauri driver with DRS and overtake, and he does it very easily. You can see how fast he is with DRS and also overtake. And now Brook is back in the lead. What an exciting first 7 laps we are having. There are many battles, close battles. Let's see also Mooman. Let's see if with DRS on wide open is not gonna be close enough to Luca, who has managed to get back into P8. He's on a medium tires. Ooh, and Luca spun out of the race, and he's gonna need to change the front wing once again, and most likely the tires is probably gonna go onto the R tires. But his race for P1 is gone for the win. It's now over. Let's see, CFF is very close to Brook. Brook will take a wide line, went to the right, and the CFF try a dummy. Ooh, very close, very respectful drive by Brook Littlewood. We take the defensive line. Now CFF try to go around the outside, but he doesn't have the pace to do so. He takes the slipstream. Brook goes defensive, and CFF try to go around the outside. Brook go down inside. Ooh, CFF really close. He's gonna wait for the DRS line so he can get the drag reduction system on Brook Littlewood and get the move done. You can see already how fast is the AlphaTauri with the slipstream and overtake on, and also with DRS. Now CFF is on the lead, but they are very close, not close enough for Brook, who is back on P2. Now the soft tires are gonna start to drop off. Simopets has closed some gaps, but not as fast as I thought. Julius Race try move on Clay Racing, go around the outside, goes on the curb, so he's not gonna have the better line of the two of them, but managed to stay ahead. And now the tracks turn right, so Clay is surely gonna have the track to his favor and managed to stay in P4. Gets a very wide line, but the running overtake opportunity in this SS, and Clay can stay in P4 very nicely down from the As driver. Julio is gonna try a dummy here, but it's not close enough. Also Barks is behind the pair of them battling for P4. You can see also Warren is coming on Barks, join this trio. Let's see if Giulio is gonna have a chance on this first straight. We're on lap 9 and still so much exciting battles here. Julius Race get the move on Clay. Is Clay gonna try the dummy? Is not. So Julius Race get the move done, but now there is this so long straight with DRS wide open. Clay is surely gonna have his chances to overtake Julius back. West is red light flashing, so he doesn't have ERS to play with. DRS wide open from the As driver and fight back to Julius Race. Fair play to Clay Racing, who is now back into P4. Ooh, very close between Barks and the rear wing of Julius Race, and Warren does get advantage of that and get the move done on Barks, who is trying to fight back with overtake on, but has to let Warren pass. As now in P6, the two Mercedes on P5 and P6, you can see Brook. As I was saying, that the soft tires are now starting to drop off, and so he decides to go into the pit to get an undercut, maybe on CFF. Most likely he's gonna put the hard tires on, while CFF is surely gonna try to go longer and try a medium to soft strategy. As Brook now put the medium tires on, so he's trying the soft mediums. Also Fred is going to the pit following his teammates Barks to the hood. I don't know if he did change his front wing after the contact with Julius Race going into the hairpin. Now we have Julius Race, who is really close to Clay Racing. We are on the first sector of the track. Julius Race does not the same mistake that he did last lap, overtaking Clay in the first straight. So now he's gonna have the better speed, the better position going into the main straight. Clay does a little bit of wavy. He now decides to go defensive. He's really trying to stay in P4. He's surely gonna try the dummy. Ooh, you lock up both tires and touch a bit the rear wing of Julio, and did manage to get a very good line. But now Julio he completely missed the braking point. His Mercedes Clay gets the switchback, as now Warren has come with these two, with Clay and Julius, were really slowing each other. This is the fight for P4, P3, we don't know. Ooh, Julius Race trying to move on Clay, they're gonna fight on the last turn. Clay goes really wide, so now Warren has the opportunity to get a move done on Clay, and also Dirtshark following Warren on this move. Let's see how fight Clay. Warren goes deep, Dirtshark trying to go around the outside of the Mercedes. Is he gonna do it? It does not have the right pace to do so, but he's surely gonna have the speed to fight him on this braking point. So now Dirtshark is the one fighting with Warren. DRS wide open, but he doesn't want to overtake the Mercedes driver on this braking point. He does want to stay close as possible. Going into this main straight is really glued to the rear wing of the Mercedes, and is now gonna try to put the overtake on Warren, who has his red light flashing, so he's below 10% of ERS. Dirtshark is gaining and gaining. He does want to stick to the racing line going around the outside. Is he gonna make it? Let's see from Clay's perspective. Let's watch back. Warren cut Dirtshark off, and now Warren can maintain P4. Ooh, very close. Dirtshark just almost touched the rear wing of Warren. Also Simopets is closing in on CFF, is now 1.4 seconds behind the AlphaTauri driver, so soon we're gonna have a battle for the lead. Ooh, Dirtshark goes down inside of Warren. Let's see if the two drivers are gonna fight to the last corner. They do, and Warren has to concede the position on Dirtshark, as Clay Racing did last lap with Julius Race, who has now escaped from this fight and is now far away from Dirtshark. Is already 1.7 seconds. Warren completely misses braking points going to turn 1 and has to lose so much time to the Red Bull driver, who is really doing a very good comeback. We have some fans in the chat for Fred Nolasco, who is currently in P12, is already pitted from the hard tire to the medium one, and is currently 4 seconds off Eisenberg, who is on the hard tire, is planning to go to the end as Fred Nolasco. So let's see, Simopets has just overtook CFF going into the hairpin. So now the Ferrari driver is back in the lead. No, actually, this is the first time for me he's in the lead. He was starting last as it's the driver championship leader. So the Ferrari driver has completed his mission from P16 to P1 in a matter of 12 laps, with still 16 laps to go. This sprint race is looking to let us be excited even more. We have some fans also for Simopeds in the chat, as Dirttrack decides to go into the pit and most likely go for a medium to hard strategy. Get rid of this medium and trying the undercut on Warren and Julius Race up in front. Now Brooke, who has already pitted, is now in P5, challenging the Mercedes of Warren, who has a 10 lap older compound of mediums. Nice job indeed for Simopeds, who is now in the lead with CFF with 1.4 seconds behind with a 3-second time penalty. Ooh, Brooke really goes late on the brakes. Now Warren, who is without the DRS, is gonna try to defend as much as he can. Let's put the telemetry on. Brooke is also low on ERS as Warren, but is closing in. Now DRS wide open from the Alfa Romeo driver, but I don't think he's gonna be close enough. He's still gonna try a dummy. He's not. He's just trying to scare the Mercedes driver, who gets on the curb, who is not the correct line, and Brooks knows it, so he goes with overtake on. He's trying to go around the outside on this 90-degree corner. He gets the line, the driver line, and gets the move done on F4 Racing Warren, and is now in P4. Very well done from Brooke. Brave move. Managed to stick around the outside and got P4 in the Alfa Romeo. Really look as he has the pace. Very well done from Brooke. As now CFF goes into the pit to go onto the R tires, we're gonna see if Brooke managed the undercut, and most likely he does. Very well much does. So now he's gonna have a tire advantage because he's on the medium while CFF is on the R tires, and also he created a very big gap between the two of them. So Brooke looking for a P2 finishing, maybe P1 if he can challenge Simopeds on this race pace. Let's see some close battle. The closest one is between Warren and Brooke, who is desperately trying to let Warren be outside of the 1 second window of the DRS range, and he managed to do so as Warren finishing this completely easy DRS. His battery is now empty, so he's gonna wait till the breaking point to recharge it. Let's get on board with Zabiacha, who was in chat saying full focus at the start of the race. He is not having the best race of his life. I want to remind you that this is the second race for the Red Bull driver. He has a lot of ERS to play with. He switched overtake on. He's surely gonna put the DRS wide open, and his move down the inside. He goes to the movement and get the move done very easily. Very well done from the Red Bull driver, who is now in the point, but is yet to pit. Now Brooke is on first place after his pit stop, and Simopeds just came out behind Warren, so we're gonna see an interesting battle going down this straight. Let's see if Simopeds is gonna wait for the main straight or is gonna try the overtake. Surely now, actually not, he's keeping the ERS and the overtake for this main straight. Wise decision from the Ferrari driver. Let's now deploy all EZRS. We have a yellow flag. Let's put the big map on. Is the Red Bull driver? Is Durshak, who has completely lost the car and going to RPC Mopeds, claim P2, overtaking Warren. Now Durshak, does he have damage? Let's see. He doesn't look like, maybe, but he's surely gonna have some minor damage. He lost all this time to Warren. He now has a 16-second gap. He has less, I think. And now he's gonna need to work his pace once again. After this incident, we're gonna see soon if he needs to change the wing. Sitting in P5 we have Berkshire Hood, who has already changed his stars from the softs to medium. We will see if he gonna manage to finish the race on this compound. I don't think so, seeing the other drivers pitting after lap 11-12. So he's maybe trying to go for a double stop soft medium medium, as now CFF goes into the pits from the art compound, so he's surely got damage. Very unlucky from the AlphaTauri driver, who was sitting in P1 by the end of lap 10, creating also a gap from Brook. But now the two AlphaTauri drivers are currently P9 and P10, while Julius Luca is just overtook CFF into the pit. Also Julius Race, who is replacing his front wing, so he surely got damage, and is now go to a set of mediums. We're at lap 16 of 28. We have to have a look on the driver championship, so we can see how this race is gonna influence the standings. I want to remind you that we are running with classical point system, where the first get 10 points and the 10 get 1, and we have also the extra point bonus for the driver who scored the fastest lap, as Simopets now does, and is closing in on Brook, but he goes a little bit wide in turn 1. Warren goes into the pits for a set of softs, so he does want to finish the race on that compound. Let's see, Simopets is not gonna try to move now, so Simopets is leading the championship with 53 points, followed by Fred Nolasco, who has 44, who is now in P7. He has only 11 laps to recover as much as possible for him. And we're gonna have a look on the rest of the Drivers' Championship after this battle going down this main straight of the Vietnam. The rest wide open for Simopets. The red light is flashing for Brook. Then it goes semi-defensive, now full defensive. Ooh! And he moved a little bit on the braking. Simopets managed to get the move down on him, but Simo is now sure gonna have some big damage. He completely missed the left flap, so it is a big damage for the Ferrari driver. Let's see if he's gonna come into the pit. We're gonna see him now. It doesn't look like he does want to continue and to end the race with damage on. We'll see if he's gonna have the pace on Brook, even if with this big damage it's gonna be hard for the Ferrari driver to complete this mission. Now he's still in the gap, in the 1 second gap, so now Brook does surely have the pace to stick with Simopets, because he has such a big damage on the front wing. Let's say Brook is gonna try the move on Simopets going at the end of this first straight. Ooh, he does, but it's not close enough. Let's see, going into the hairpin, preparing the overtake going down the main straight, overtake on from the for the Alfa Romeo driver. They follow the Ferrari with a slipstream. DRS wide open and is gaining. His gain is getting closer. Simopets stick to the racing line. Brook goes down inside of the Ferrari driver, who locks up. Brook goes so wide as Simopets can claim the lead once again. And this is gonna be exciting for the rest of the race. Also, Dirtshark is closing very fast on the two of them. Even if he has a 13-second gap, he's surely gonna be faster than Simopets without half a front wing. As now Luca overtake Eisenberg, battling for P10, but we have this amazing battle going down for P1. We did not have it for the last stint of the race, so we need to focus on this amazing battle between two Italian Scuderias, with an Italian driver, Simopets, who is leading the championship, and Brook, who is showing his pace. Every race looks faster than the last one, and he still managed to stay in the DRS range, with also managing to recover a bit of the DRS. So he's surely gonna have his chance of overtake going down the main straight of lap 19 of the Vietnam Grand Prix. These two drivers are fighting for 10 points in the Drivers' Championship, and also for £50, because the first one who crossed the line gets £50, the second 30, the third 20, the fourth 10, and the fifth gets £5. So Brook wide open to DRS, but is not gonna be close enough. He managed to get the gap down from 8 tenths to 4. He needs a very good third sector to stay in the DRS range of the Ferrari driver. He knows it. Deep Over has left the session while after he retired from the race some laps earlier, as Brook now managed to stay within the 1 second window. And he's gonna have the first of the 3 DRS window. He's gonna try probably to... Ooh, that's a mistake from Brook, who has now lost the DRS and also quite a big gap, 8 tenths of a second. He didn't want to go fast, I should say, outside the track to get a 3-second time penalty for corner cut, so he's surely gonna try to rely on the damage of Simopets to get back in the 1 second window, even if the two of them looked so similar on pace. Hopefully Brook is gonna follow Simopets around and get the move, get us a very good fight for the lead. Let's see, Julius race is very close to Luca. Both drivers are on a fresh set of mediums fighting for the last point of the championship. Sorry, last point of this race, 1 point. Who does mean so much on this classical old point system. We have only 8 laps to go, and the future of this race looks so unclear. It's now Brook back in the second window, so he's back on the DRS range. Julius race wisely doesn't want to overtake Luca going down the first straight. Luca takes a wide line to get a slingshot exit to get a very fast car going down the main straight, but Julius race is gonna apply the overtake button soon, the DRS, and he's gotta get the move down inside of the Aston Martin. Is Luca gonna try to fight back? He is. Did he manage to stay on the track? He has. A fantastic overtake, fantastic break from Luca. who now managed to come back into P10. Brook has done a little bit of a mistake, I guess, because now from 1 second he's got back to 1 second and a half, but he does have the pace to overtake, to close the gap once again. The only thing that he needs to worry is the tires, because I don't know if he's gonna be able to stick to this medium tire till the end. Let's see also the Red Bull of the Bianca 420 getting closer to Moomin. Very clean line from the Red Bull driver, who overtake the AlphaTauri going around the outside at the end of the first sector, and now get the move done. Sadly, I don't speak Portuguese, so I am not gonna be able to answer to the question in the chat. Now Brook is back within Simopet's DRS range. They both have the same amount of ERS, around 20%. Let's see, it does look close. Brook, he did not manage to get the best exit out of the hairpin. He's now 8 tenths behind, 9 tenths behind, so he won't be able to overtake Simopet's going down the straight for this lap, but we have still 6 to go, and surely Brook is trying to try his best to get a move on the Ferrari driver. Dirtshark, who has managed to recover after he spun off the hairpin. I wonder if he didn't spin, he will be there with the two fighting for the lead. With a full front wing and a fresher set of mediums, he's gonna regret it watching back the lives, surely. Simopet's going wide, that's the oversteer of the front wing. We're gonna see even if this incident is gonna be looked by the stewards after the race. I will let you know. Next week we're gonna have round 8 with Japan, where we're gonna have a very special format. But now let's focus on this race, on this battle for the lead. 5 laps to go. Brook deploy his overtakes, trying to go down inside of Simopet. Is he gonna try to move now? Surely not. But he's close to Simopet, does need to get a very good clean exit going out of the hairpin. Let's see, Brook is now very close, only 3 tenths separating the two of them. DRS wide open from the Alfa Romeo driver. He's trying to go down inside. They are gonna be side by side. Let's see if Brooks get a better line. Does manage to break in time this time. The two are fighting, going wheel to wheel. Let's see from Podcam. Sorry, Simopet's try to go around the outside. Brooks covered the line and is now back into the lead, going down the third sector on lap 23. So Brook is now back into the lead after the first stint, where he was overtaken by CFF. Is now fighting for the victory with a Ferrari of Brook, with the Ferrari of Simopet, who is gonna have the better tires till the end of the race, but he has some big damage going to the front wing. 6 times separating the two of them, now 5, so Simopet is gonna breathe going down this straight. He's gonna need a very good hairpin if he does want to overtake Brook. The secret now is also not to get a penalty, not to get any warning whatsoever, otherwise the race, the battle for the lead is surely gonna be lost. You can see Simopets is deploying all these overtake. He does want to get back into the lead very soon. You can see how fast he is with DRS overtake. He goes down the inside. He's gonna get a move. Brook goes defensive. He's trying to go around the outside of the Ferrari, and he managed to do so. And now comes back into P1. Brook goes wide, but Simopets doesn't have the pace and the space to fight back. I wonder how much more are gonna be challenging these mediums of Brook. I hope it for him. That's something he's hoping through. Surely this is the only battle going on track, the only important one. This battle for the lead, we haven't had one in the last stages of the race. This is round 7. The title is not decided yet, so Simopets is trying to secure as many points as possible, as many wins as possible. Brook goes semi-defensive, but he doesn't have to worry of Simopets going down the breaking point. Brook's got a little bit wide, so Simopets is surely gonna have a very good line. Brook almost tricked the Ferrari driver to go ahead to get the DRS for the detection point, but now Simopets is so close that he's surely gonna overtake Brook. Was trying to fight back with the overtake, but he won't be able to maintain the lead for this lap. We have only 2.5 laps to go. 3.5 laps to go. Clay Racing is back in the area. He's sitting in P6, so he managed to get back on track. Fred Nolasco managed to do something of a climb back to the field. Is now in P5. He won't be able to get Warren in P4. Ooh, Brook. The gap between him and Simopets is now got over 1 second. 1.1 is pushing as hard as he can. Is now back into 9/10 of a second, and now we haven't it all. It's completely disappeared. Let me try to switch it. I can tell you this is over a second gap between the two of them. We're gonna base the gaps with my eyes. Also, Dirtshark is not that far away of the two of them. Maybe he's gonna have his chances going down the last lap. Also, Brook, this is over a second. I'll say second and a half. Brook is pushing, but he won't have the DRS going down the straight. Now we have 2 laps and a half till the end. Now Dirtshark is closer than Brook is to Simopets. With the 2 laps fresh mediums. Let's see if we're gonna have the possibility to fight for P2, maybe P1. It depends on Brook. Does seem that these medium tires are now dropping off quite badly. He's losing quite a bit margin to Simopets, who is leading the way. Now the gaps are back. Brook is 2 seconds away. Dirtshark is 1.4 behind Brook, who is on P2. It will be the first podium of his career in the UKS Vacam Racing League. Dirtshark is closing in. It's now under second, so he's gonna have the DRS going down the main straight, but also Brook will have it because of Emilio's lapped car. They both managed to overtake him nicely. So you can see Dirtshark got the DRS. Let's see. Ooh, Brook didn't manage to get the DRS in time onto the DRS detection point. So Dirtshark is getting bigger and bigger into the mirror of Brook on the Alfa Romeo. We have 15 people watching, thanks so much. Now Dirtshark is getting really close to the Alfa Romeo driver, fighting for P2 for 9 points in the championship. Let's see who is holding the fastest lap. Is Eisenberg with a 1:38.2, 1 second faster than his teammates, but he's sitting on P11. Dirtshark goes down inside on the penultimate corner. He's gonna stay in front. He needs to back out of it if he doesn't want to end up in the wall. So now for this lap, Brooks managed to stay back ahead. Now this is the last lap. Brook doesn't have the pace. Didn't have the tires, because the pace actually was there, but didn't have the tires to fight for P1. Is now needs to defend from Dirtshark. Is letting the Red Bull driver pass very wisely down from him. Ooh, close the door. They're fighting wheel to wheel, going down the hairpin. Dirtshark is gonna have the shortest line, but Brook is gonna have the slick shot line with the DRS on. Let's see. Dirtshark has a lot of ERS, but he won't have the DRS. Let's see. Doesn't look like he's gonna manage to close into Dirtshark, who managed to get P2 most likely in this race. It's getting closer and closer. Ooh. He's trying everything to come back at him, but Dirtshark with the better tires is managing to stay in front of the Alfa Romeo driver. So let's get on board with Simopeds, one of his hardest challenge, surely the hardest one around Vietnam. Simopeds is gonna take the checker flag first in the sprint race and secure 10 points in the championship. Dirtshark with a second place, followed by Brook, who is my drivers of the day for this race. Very good racing from everybody. Let's see Warren, who's gonna secure a 4th place for Mercedes. Very well done from Warren, who's come back after bad results. Is now back in the points that counts, P4. It's maintained Mercedes alive for the Constructors' Championship. The fight is gonna be still on. Fred gets P5 after a good recovery. Clay Racing, very well points, finishing P6, starting P2. Very good last stint on the soft tires. And Baxter Hood gets P7 for the Renault. Very solid race from him. Also the Red Bull driver Zabiaka, finishing P8, 3 points for him. Very well done from the Red Bull driver. Julius Reyes in P9, getting 2 points, and is gonna complete the point finisher. CFF, the poleman, finishing P10 and getting overtaken by Eisenberg because of the penalties. So we're waiting for Mumum to cross the line, and that's it for the sprint race of the UKSA's Dachau Battle Racing League. Driver of the day does show Simopeds because he went from 60th to 1st, but I have to say Brook really managed to have a really good race. Well done for all the 16 drivers today, but really give that a very good show. Ferrari is celebrating once again is Simopets. And that's the final standing. Simopets, Dershak, Brook, Warren, Fred Nolasco, Clay, Barks, Zabiaka, Jules Race, Eisenberg completing the top 10. Outside of the points, Sefef, Muman, Emilio, Luca, T-Power, and Snaglasses, the last two retired. That's it for the race. That's it for this sprint race. We're gonna see you next week. The time is gonna get back to 9 p.m. Italian 9 p.m. 8 p.m. UK. I'll catch you very soon. Thank you for tuning in.